Welcome back, my friends. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Beverly Jane here. Good to see you. I'm trying to get this video put together while my granddaughter is sleeping. Yeah, she'll be with me until tomorrow. We have a big storm where no travel is recommended, and so I get to have her one more day. But with that being said, I just want to thank you for stopping by, and let's go ahead and get on with the show.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Do I focus on what I can control, or do I focus on what I cannot control? It's really important to let go of those things that we can't control and to only invest our time and energy into the things that we actually can control. The second question is, do I focus on what I have, or do I focus on what's missing? If I focus on what I have, then I'm naturally going to be in a state of gratitude. Whereas I focus on what's missing, I'm going to be in scarcity consciousness as opposed to abundance consciousness. And the last, final, third question is my mind in the past, in the future, or in the present? Very often when it's in the past, then I feel depressed. Very often when it's in the future, I might feel worried or anxious, but I can only find true peace in the present moment. These three qualities, gratitude, peace, and presence, are the key to living a beautiful life.
My question to you is, do you carry peace, presence, and gratitude within your space? It's something that is so important to practice because we frustrate ourselves, we inflict our own discord when we focus on that which we don't have or that which is not currently attainable. We talked about gratitude in my last video, and I think I'm probably going to repeat that subject in all my videos. It is so important. It elevates your sense of well-being. I wish gratitude for each one of you. Let's carry on.
Some of the best advice I've ever received is still this. If you feel like you hate everyone, eat something. If you feel like everyone hates you, go to sleep. If you feel like you hate yourself, have a shower. And if you feel like everyone hates everyone, go outside.
So let me see if I can break this down for you. She said, if you hate others, then eat. So that must mean, okay, I get it. So anyone ever get hangry where you're hungry and everyone around you is irritating you and making you upset? That is because our primal desire is to satisfy our basic needs. And one of those needs is food. And then she said, if everyone else hates you, then go to sleep. And the reason I suspect is it resets the nervous system. It resets your brain. A lot of times we get into irrational thoughts that keep, you keep ruminating over them. People don't hate you. So maybe going to sleep gives you a chance to get up with a better attitude, with a fresh view of your interactions or the situation with others. And then she said, if you hate yourself, take a shower. And I suspect that the reason she's telling you to do that is because it's a cleansing. It's an act of self-care. And then she said, if everyone hates everyone, then go outside. So I think what she really meant is go into nature, step into an environment that is harmonious, where there's absolute interconnectedness between all things. And yeah, so let's carry on.
One thing you can do to help yourself when you're easily triggered or manipulated, or when you feel those emotions boiling, do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Don't text it, don't send it, don't write it, don't call. Do nothing. Step away. And you can do it for a couple hours, you could do it for 24 hours, you could do it for a week, or you can never respond. Do nothing is gold. I want you to feel the emotion, lean into it. Don't avoid what you're feeling. Let it roll through you. Do you follow? Catch it, but then release it. Don't keep it in you and then hold it in. Because now you're just one big stress ball. You're just one big mess of emotion. We want to absorb, release, and then move through.
I keep seeing people post like things I wish I knew sooner, things I wish I knew in my 20s. I have 3 things that will completely change your entire life and take you from sad to savage. And if you're not sad, it will just take you to freaking savage. Number 1 is everything in life is a habit, and if you change your habits, you'll change your entire life. Now let me explain this. Snoozing your alarm, that's a habit. Not working out, that's a habit. Choosing toxic relationships over and over, that's a habit. In a habit loop, you have a cue, a routine, and a reward, and you follow the cycle over and over and over. Now, when you snooze your alarm, that's not you being lazy or unmotivated. That's a habit that you built in your brain. To change a habit, you have to change the routine. The key to this is knowing that in any habit loop, the cue and the reward are linked, and the routine doesn't matter. The reason that we form habits is because our brain, when we get a cue, it automatically thinks of the reward and it wants it. Number 2 is the concept of getting 1% better. A lot of the times people try and just go, oh, I'm going to change my life and go 0 to 100, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's overwhelming, and no one can do that, make all of those changes all at once. The concept of 1% better is picking one thing that you can do every single day. Not only will this increase your productivity, but it will tell your brain you're getting small wins and actually help you get them down as habits so that you can then add in other things and slowly progress. If you get 1% better every single day for 30 days, at the end of the month, you're 30% better. The third thing is something called habit stacking, and it's when you take something that you have to do and pair it with something that you want to do. If you habit stack once a day, I promise you, you will completely transform your mental and your physical health. Go on the treadmill and watch TikToks. You pair something you have to do with something you get to do. When you're doing laundry and you don't want to do laundry, pair it with listening to an audiobook or calling a friend. Habit stack. Also comment what your habit stack's gonna be for this week.
No, because tell me why there is nothing more attractive than somebody who knows how to take really good care of themselves. I mean, they're hitting the gym, they're cooking themselves meals, they're listening to self-development podcasts, reading the books, they're learning things, they're doing their skincare. Like, they just know how to take incredible care of themselves. They're doing something they love. Like, they are feeding themselves up so much. If you want to be hotter, just take better care of yourself. It sounds so simple, but it works.
Here's how you know it's true love, like potentially the love of your life. And this is a simple rule from the philosopher Nietzsche, who basically argued that love is the highest form of friendship. Or, in his words, what makes most relationships fail is not a lack of love, it is a lack of friendship. And to cultivate friendship and love means finding somebody who makes you smile, who makes you laugh, but above all, who makes you feel safe. It's like George Eliot, who wrote that it is, quote, the inexpressible comfort of feeling safe with a person. And when you feel safe, you can be your most authentic, childlike, joyful self. You bring out the best in each other. It's like Dr. Seuss, who wrote that life is weird. Everyone is a little weird. And when two people meet whose weirdness is compatible and they join forces, they call it love. That's what love is. It is the highest form of friendship. It is finding someone who is your friend for life.
Always remember this one. When a human being truly loves you, their biggest fear is to hurt you. But when a human being is in love with how you make them feel, their biggest fear is to lose you. And then there is you understanding the difference.
Science shows that belief in yourself is a bigger predictor of success than talent and intelligence, and I'll tell you the neuroscience behind why, because everybody should know this. Reason number one is that belief alone improves performance. Studies show that when you believe you can do something, your brain activates more motor cortex and prefrontal resources, improving your performance. This is the placebo effect in action. Belief is a biological advantage. And number two, belief keeps you motivated when nobody's clapping. When you believe in your vision, your brain stays fueled by intrinsic dopamine, which is the opposite of external dopamine from things like views or likes or money. This makes your motivation resilient because you're not relying on external wins to keep you going. You stay locked in even when things get quiet. And number three, belief helps you take riskier moves. And like my brother said to me a while back when I was trying to decide what book deal I should take, no risk, no Rari. But the science here is that belief helps to reduce amygdala activity, which is responsible for fear and hesitation, and activates approach circuits in the brain. That's why self-belief leads to bold action, and bold action opens the doors to your dreams. When you venture out into the unknown, yeah, the floor might be lower, but the ceiling is so much higher.
Let's talk about beliefs. We can tell what another person's beliefs are by what they have done. Meaning, if a person believes they can do something, then the fact that they believed that it was possible, they went ahead and did it. I believe I can make videos. Are they of the highest quality? I don't know. Probably not. I make TikTok videos. I do, social media and put myself out there. And the reason I do that is because I believe I can. I see someone else doing it and it's like, hey, that looks like fun. I think I can do it. At one point, I even believed I could write a book, and I did. Was it successful? Not really. Did I retire it? Yes, I did. However, I believed I could, and I did.
Have you ever wondered what someone is thinking of you? Did you know that there are some psychological ways to find out what someone actually thinks of you? It could be a friend, the person you like, your boss, literally anyone. As a therapist with a doctoral degree in psychology, I have spent my life studying human behavior, and so I know that these things are true. The first thing you're going to do to find out what they think of you, and this one's a little bit challenging because it requires you to get vulnerable. You are going to tell them about something that is really bothering you. You're going to go into detail on why this is a problem for you and how you don't know how to fix it. And you're going to pay super close attention to their response. If they're like most people, they're just going to sit there and listen empathetically and try their best to be a good friend. But if they have a special affinity for you, like if they like you, they're going to start jumping in and trying to offer solutions to the problem. They're going to try to fix it for you. When we like someone, we subconsciously want to be their hero. So pay close attention to if they try to jump in and be the hero for you. If they do, they probably like you. The next time that you walk into a room that they are already in, you are going to pay super close attention to their body language. Do they change their body position when you enter the room? It doesn't even matter if this is a crush or like a friendship situation. When someone we like enters a room, we almost always subconsciously shift our body position. This is totally subconscious and is usually because we want to impress them. Finally, guys, this is the kicker. This is the one subconscious thing that every person who likes you will always do, and it's so funny when you see it in action. Next time that you're together, you're going to play a little game and start putting things in between the two of you. If they like you, they are going to start shifting those items to the side or taking them away entirely. They will do this because of the primal need to eliminate any barriers between themselves and the person they like. If you still aren't sure if they like—
These are some of my psychology tricks that I've learned that are going to help you stop overthinking and start learning to detach from things. When you're in these situations, you're anxious, you're overthinking, you have to stop and start asking yourself, okay, what would I do if I didn't care? What would I be doing right now if I was detached? What would the detached best version of me be doing? And then you have to force yourself to do that. And I know that that's really hard, but you have to fake it. You have to act, and you have to act and act and act until it becomes your default, and force yourself, because it's a decision to be secure. And you have to tell yourself, I am not going to overthink this. I'm not going to let myself think this way, and force yourself until it becomes natural. The brain is neuroplastic and it will change. There's a mechanism that exists in the brain called sensory gating. The brain's ability to filter out what it doesn't need, what's useless to it. And besides the fact that human beings are just very egocentric, we can only see things from our perspective. We're very concerned about ourselves. Other people are not sitting there thinking about your embarrassing moment, about that weird thing that you said or you did, because they literally can't. Their brain eventually will filter it out. If you ever start comparing yourself to someone else, ask yourself, if this person and I were to throw all of our problems, life experiences, good, bad, ugly, everything, out onto a table and you could see all of it, would you really trade lives with them? No. You're comparing yourself to an idealized version of them you've created in your head. It's not real. Ask yourself, am I spiraling or am I solving? When you're talking about your problems and your emotions, 90% of the time, it needs to be in a solution-oriented way. Otherwise, you just end up overthinking yourself into a spiral and you're not actually achieving anything or getting anywhere. Energy flows where attention goes. So if all of your attention is on how horrible and awful and difficult this thing is, that's what's going to grow.
A spiritual awakening is the realization that you are not the voice in your head. You're the observer, the one who's aware of the voice. So nothing the voice in your head has ever said was you, nothing it will say will ever be you, nothing it's saying right now is you. And if this is a revelation to you, it means that your whole life you have mistaken the voice in your head as who you are. You thought it was you thinking in there, you talking in there, when the whole time you were actually the one listening and observing.
When it comes to complaining, we don't realize this is a sign of a lack of self-trust, because we lack the trust that we have the ability to do something about the situation. So what do? Focus on what we cannot control and magnify it and complain about it. Because it's easier to complain than to take ownership and do something. When we keep reliving past hurts, things that have happened to us in the past, we're telling what's called a contamination story.
If you're emotionally intelligent but not emotionally regulated, you're not emotionally mature. And you're definitely not an emotionally safe person. I hear so many people speak about emotional intelligence and the importance of it, and I agree, it is important. But I believe it's also dangerous because so many people seem emotionally mature because we live in the age of information and everyone can listen to a podcast and read a book and attain the knowledge in their head and then speak as if they are emotionally intelligent and they sound emotionally mature. They appear emotionally mature, but they're not. When it comes down to shit and they're tested and they're triggered, they're challenged, they don't have the ability to stay emotionally regulated. They are defensive, they lash out, they project, instead of taking a step back and checking in with themselves and understanding what is happening within themselves and what they need. And then they don't have to self-control to consciously respond instead of emotionally react. They emotionally react. They lash out. They have no control in that moment. That's not an emotionally safe person. Emotional regulation is the skill. And that's exactly, it is a skill. It's something you have to practice. It's something you are. It's something you have attained, actively worked on. That's emotional regulation. 99% of people are not born emotionally regulated. That's something you have to integrate deeply within your system. And you fail a lot of times. And then you get better and better and better over time. Emotionally, so many people seem emotionally intelligent, but they're not. It's just knowledge in their head. In action, they are not emotionally regulated. So these people just sound emotionally mature. They're not. And you have to be careful.
Talk about emotionally safe people. Those are the individuals that you can go to regardless. Even if you know that if you have to approach them and let them know you messed up something pretty bad, or maybe even lied about something, or you made a human mistake, that they are not going to flip their lid, call you every name in the book, tell you what a horrible person you are. Those are the individuals who listen. and are able to process their emotions. They're able to regulate them, even though it may have made them very angry, very hurt. They're not going to react on that. They are going to take some time to process it. And usually emotionally safe individuals will respond in loving, understanding, and helpful ways. I hope that each one of you has at least one person in your life that you can go to that's emotionally safe. And those persons that are emotionally safe, they're the ones that are emotionally intelligent.
Science shows that you need to stop being realistic in order to be successful, and here are 3 reasons why. The first reason is confirmation bias and the placebo effect. Your brain looks for things in reality to confirm the beliefs that you already have. So why would you not set absolutely delusional goals for your life? This brings me to number 2, which is why would you be realistic when most of your experience of reality is not real in the first place? A large portion of our reality as we know it is a construct made up by the brain. For example, color doesn't exist outside of the brain. This is why science shows that no one sees color the exact same way, because no one has the exact same brain. If you want another video on that, let me know, because I actually studied that in the lab. And the third reason why we need to stop being realistic is because being delusional actually means that you are not under the influence of the illusion. Research shows again and again that optimism and believing in yourself improves your performance and gets you closer to your goals. If reality is a construct put together by your brain according to your thoughts and beliefs, then why would you not be delusional with your thoughts and beliefs?
And here we are, my friends. We made it through another video. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging out with me. And if anyone hasn't told you this yet today, you are a wonderful human being. You are so valuable, and you are very important. Don't you ever forget that. I made it through the video without my granddaughter waking up and checking in and seeing what Mimi was doing. So that's a win for me today. We actually have a winter storm warning. Travel is not suggested, absolutely not, here in Minnesota at this time. I'm going to bunker down and start working on the next video, so that way I can hang out with each and every one of you again.